I'm really pumped, man. It's been a long ride. I mean, hopefully finish strong, get some great times. I mean, from what I can remember, I mean, VR is completely different from here. Well, my father had left first, ahead of us. You know, he got settled there. So you know, he brought his children. There's 3 of us now. You know, we all figured out there's good opportunities. America. Well, I grew up. It was a town called Hackensack, and it was near Patterson. Patterson was one of the toughest towns in New Jersey, and I mean, the schools, the neighborhood was just. I lived in the projects, and it was tough. I mean, a lot of bullying, a lot of gang affiliation. You know, it was just a negative surrounding there. And it was tough. I mean, it's hard to concentrate in school. I wasn't even thinking about doing sports when I lived over there. That's how, you know, out of the path I was. Well, it was definitely a lot of. I had to get myself settled. I knew what I needed to do. And once I figured that out, I started hanging out with the good people. People who had goals, who were motivated and determined, and who was just hungry. And I mixed in with them, and sort of like took me to the right path. Yes, when I moved first to Lawrence, I was about 13. I moved to Methuen not even less than a year later after that, because my grandmother had already had a house here. So she took the son with my mother. And, I mean, it was different, but as soon as I got here, I knew that my surroundings were completely different from how they were in New Jersey, and everything was just so positive over here. I just wanted more. I wanted to exceed. I wanted to do great things. I started thinking about doing sports as soon as the opportunities came to me. I know freshmen, when I had to go in for orientation, they were like, "Oh, what sports you want to do?" Sports. I can do sports. Okay. Football, track. I mean, I've always been known as sort of like a speedster. When I was little, I used to just race, and I used to race in DR. I used to race kids in school during recess. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I know that I was gonna do baseball indoor season instead of track. Spring season instead of track. But instead, I ended up loving indoor track so much that I just ended up doing outdoors. For tryouts, the first couple days, I was actually, ahead with the senior kids. I was a freshman. I was running right next to the senior kids, the captain, the varsity squad. I was running right with them, and when we did a time trial, actually, my times were, up there with theirs. Well, I remember my freshman year, I would try the 55 meters, and I realized that I don't know, the way my body is, that if I have more distance to have time to accelerate, then I'd end up running a better time in 300 compared to the 50. So, I mean, freshman year I was just strictly 50 meters, but sophomore year is when I opened up and I realized that, wow, maybe I can run these extra distances. I did once. It was a 4x1 relay. Me and him were third leg, and I was running right next to him. Of course, his teammate got it fastest to him. I always budge him on that. Oh well, you had the lead. But yeah, that was the only time. It was great. I mean, I was looking for something like that, throughout his time there, hoping that before he graduates, I get to at least run next to him in the track, because I've always looked up to him and his hard work. He was a Division 100 meter championship, and I'm like, wow, if I want to follow his footsteps. He works hard, and I want to work hard. Well, I remember visiting multiple times. At first, I wasn't visiting it for myself. I was visiting it for my friend. When I went there, I ended up loving the campus, and they're Division 2 for track for sports. I didn't want to apply to any Division 3 schools, because I wanted to just work hard enough to run Division 2. Academically, that school is great. They have a 3-2 program for engineering, which is what I want to do. For the rest of the season, I'm looking to break 50 in the 400 meters, run a 49 high. That's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully this weather gets better. Yeah, that's one of my huge goals I've been wanting since freshman year.
Since freshman year, he's been a leader that upperclassmen looked at You know, in those, he goes about his warm up and his cool down and his actual workout, all seriousness all the time, which is a good thing for, you could always say as a coach, it's nice to say, look, we got a freshman or a sophomore, younger kid that is going about it right, so it's probably what you want to do. He's got a great teammate attitude. His big buddy last year was Angel Baez, that's now at the school, and they were great leaders for us last year, and it continued this year with Rudy. Also in football, Tom Ryan will tell you, he was a great kid, and he was our captain indoors, and one of the two captains outdoors with Mike Golio, one of the shot pullers. But he's just been a pleasure to watch through 4 years, with his maturity, the way he goes about track and field, the way he goes about making sure everybody else on the team is doing the right thing. So it's great to have him around. We're really going to miss him.